Hello and welcome back to the Pixel Street Podcast. This is episode 234 of the show. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Joel Campos, and joining me is John Hanson.
Hey, what's up?
I tried to play it off like my camera froze there for a second, but I had nothing queued up to
Gotcha.
say, so
I
just
was wondering what was going on.
pretend I said something really funny and witty and it made a bunch of sense and it's hilarious.
I was confused. I was looking at something else. I was like, "You there still, Joel? Like, what's going on?"
Oh, I'm here. I'm here, and I'm better than ever. And I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired, John. I went to
I bet.
Bonnaroo this weekend, and it was the longest weekend ever. We were up until like 4 or 5 in the morning every night. I was watching Shaq DJ. He started DJing at 2:30 a.m. one night.
Wait, Shaq
John,
was there. Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal was there DJing from
That's cool.
2:30 to 4 in the morning. And John, when I tell you I did not know what to expect going into a DJ Diesel set, that's his DJ name, DJ Diesel. Um, we went into this thinking, okay, it's 2:30 in the morning. We'll go like it's fucking Shaq, right? We got to go check it out for like 20
Yeah.
minutes and then we can leave.
How many times are you going to be able to see Shaquille O'Neal?
John, when I tell you we got there and immediately we're like, "Oh no, we are staying this whole time." We got like super close. I'll post videos in the Discord cuz it's just this was like I don't know. I want to say this was the best part of my weekend, even though my favorite band was performing at the music festival, just because of how much of a surprise it was. Like him DJing, like it was actually really good, and on top of it, it was just hilarious because it's fucking Shaq, and he's just like talking into the thing the whole like the microphone. He's like, let me get a fucking mosh pit back there, like, and then he kept saying like, you want me to come out there? And everybody's like, yes, Shaq, we want you to
Yes.
come out here. Or he's like,
Step on me,
"Lit."
Daddy.
Or he's like, ladies only mosh pit. Like he's just like it was just so good, dude. It was so great.
I knew
Shaquille
that
O'Neal.
Shaq. I knew that Shaq had been a DJ for a while, but I didn't know he was going to be out there this weekend. That's really cool. At
Yeah, I
least.
don't I don't know if he's like actively touring or if it's just like he just does like a few shows a year.
You know,
Like
with Shaq, he has so much going on. I mean, he's got the
he was
TNT thing. He's got Papa
he was
John's.
like a sheriff's deputy at one point in his career.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That's fucking
uh,
like what a
when he
life.
was down in Texas. Yeah, that dude
Yeah,
just does everything. Um,
I love
I
it. I
I
love it.
imagine I I wouldn't be surprised at all if like he just happened to be in Chicago and then he heard about Bonnaroo and he'd be like, "Hey, I want to play. Let me set up my stuff for this late night set." And they were just like, "Yeah, sure, okay."
Yeah, I will post videos in the Discord tonight because it's so ridiculous just seeing that large of a man up there. And he was hilarious the whole time. But yeah, I
Yeah.
had a great time this weekend. Super tired, John. We so Foo Fighters closed out the whole weekend on Sunday night at like
Mhm.
11 p.m. and we left there, John, and I drove all the way home
Oh man, you
from
poor soul.
11 p.m. I think I got home at like 7:45 in the morning.
Jeez.
And I worked a whole day when I got home.
So why
I
do you
worked a
hate
whole day.
yourself?
Oh, dude, that's why I'm so tired still. Like this is fucking
Yeah.
Thursday. Like I got off work that night and I slept till like 9:30. Then I went back to bed at like 10:30 and then yesterday I went to a Fall Out Boy concert. It's just like there's just too much. I'm doing too much right now. I need to relax. Play
You're
some
an old man
games.
now that you just turned 31, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
31-year-old
you're
man.
doing well. Yep.
But anyway,
But
we're going to talk about video games, not Shaquille O'Neal DJing. But if you want to watch Shaquille O'Neal DJ, check out our Discord channel. You can find a invite link in our pinned tweet on Twitter at Pixel Street, um, along with a link to go sub to us on YouTube, which is where we live stream the show every week, like we're doing right now. It's also where we post Let's Plays, unboxings, and whatever the hell else we feel like posting. Oh man, my nose itches really bad. I don't know why. Probably allergies. Um, Yeah, let's just fucking get into it. There's a lot to talk about this week. We had a Nintendo Direct yesterday morning. Final Fantasy 16 reviews are like out there now, which is cool. Um,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
else we
Let's
got?
a bunch of
E3, some
Xbox.
E3 stuff.
Yeah, E3, Xbox, and the FTC are battling it out in court now. We got some stuff to talk about, but
We do.
let's start with Final Fantasy 16 because I know this was a game you were super excited about, and given that you're so tired, I'm guessing you haven't played much today.
I, dude, on top of it, I had to go to the fucking office today.
Oh man,
Yeah, what the
what a
fuck?
day!
I got home at like
Well,
5:40.
we both have played the demo at least, so let's
Yeah, it's
just
like
go
2
there.
hours.
We're giving our first impressions. If you haven't heard, reviews for it are really good. I think it's sitting at an 88 on Metacritic right now, which is awesome. It's a very good score,
Yeah.
especially with this coming out right after Tears of the Kingdom and Diablo 4. Like, this is an amazing string of games we've got going right now in such a short time. But yeah, you're the big Final Fantasy fan, so let's start off with you. From your experience with the demo, how do you feel about the game right now?
I mean, I love it. I told you I loved it. Like, uh, when did the demo come out? A week ago, week and a half ago. It's a great game. At least what I've played so far, and I know that like what I've played in the demo is just the surface, right? Like I haven't gotten any special like attack moves or anything. I haven't gotten any summons. Um, it just visually the game looks fucking amazing. It's super impressive visually, and the combat is awesome. Like it couldn't be any more fun, right? I think that Final Fantasy stepping away from the turn-based stuff is one of the smartest decisions they've made in Final Fantasy in general. And like this isn't the first one to do it, obviously. Like Crisis Core, for instance, is probably what paved the way for that back like way back when. Because that was the first game to really not have uh, a full, I'll say a full turn-based system. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah, Final
15
Fantasy
did it as well.
15 did not have it. Final Fantasy 7 remake didn't have it, and that game was amazing. Um, yeah, it's an exciting time to be a Final Fantasy fan for sure. This is like their first big installment into the series since 15.
Uh,
7 remake counts, I
like
guess, but
like a new installment though,
yeah,
like
yeah,
completely
exactly.
original. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's just super exciting, and I can't wait to play more. I'll probably play a little bit tonight if I don't fall asleep.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I played the demo last night. No, 2 nights ago is when I played it, and I've got to say, like coming into it, I hadn't kept up to date with anything on it. I knew that you were excited about it. I knew a lot of people were excited about it, but I was also like, oh, it's Final Fantasy. That's why. Um, the one thing I got from I want to say it was like a 2 hour demo. That game is definitely not. It's nothing if it's not cinematic. That's for sure. Like they go hard into the cutscenes and the story in those first 2 hours. There, like I'm pretty sure out of the 2 hours, maybe a half hour of it is gameplay. Like it is a lot of cutscenes and a lot of like visual treats for you. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, especially because this is the beginning of the game. I imagine it that tapers off a bit when you get into the full game. But yeah, a lot of cutscenes. I love that Hugo and Amicia from A Plague Tale are in it.
They are?
Yeah, Hugo is the brother, the Phoenix guy.
Oh,
Um,
oh, like the voice actors.
the voice actors,
Oh,
yes.
okay. I thought you meant like you were walking through town and you just see
Oh, I just
them
saw them.
like
No,
straight
yeah,
up.
sorry. I meant the voice actors. I don't know their name off the top of my head. But yeah, Hugo is the brother, and then Amicia is the one girl who has Torgal at the beginning. I want to say her name is Lily, something like
Okay.
that. So yeah, yeah. Like the moment they both started talking, I'm like, that's Hugo and Amicia. And me being the big Plague Tale fan, I was like, okay, this game just bought some easy points from me. um, but yeah, I'm right there with you that the combat feels great. Um, during my time with it, I had it on story mode, so it was like really, really easy because I was just like, I just want to get through this. I might switch it to the normal mode, so I have to like actually put in the inputs to like dodge and everything.
Yeah, so you actually have to think about what you're doing.
hmm but the movement on it feels great. It's right there with like Kingdom Hearts. Obviously, it's all made by Square Enix, different team and everything, but you can tell that the Kingdom Hearts kind of combat core is in there. The like very like fast movement, attacking. This feels more like an action game than an RPG to me in the combat. Um, whether or not you're for that, I mean, that's up to you. I'm sure there's some like longtime fans that aren't too happy about that, but I think it feels great. Um, yeah, I'm interested to play more of it. I've got it downloaded, and like you, I'll probably pick it up tonight. I
Yeah.
I do wish that they would have named the main protagonist something else because Clive just seems like a lame name to me,
Yeah,
especially
I
when
don't know. I don't really like the name either. I don't know what
I
it is
don't.
about it. I just don't like it.
Lately, I've also been watching a lot of Modern Family, and have you ever watched that show?
No.
So there's like this reoccurring joke every Valentine's Day where the husband of the like normal family, his name's Phil. Him and his wife like go out to a hotel and they role play with each other. They like play off as like different people, and his name is Clive Bigsby, and he's such an idiot and everything. And that's all I can think about when I hear someone call out Clive, and I'm like, well, I can't take this guy seriously anymore. But outside of
Yeah,
that, the story so
I'm
far is great.
excited. I'm excited for the story of this game because like that demo, they knew what the fuck they were doing when they were
Yeah.
making the beginning of this game. Like they knew how to set those hooks in, right? Like
hmm
with the story that they tell in just the first 2 hours alone. It has you like you need to know what's happening next, right? So, I don't know. I'm super pumped to play this game and I know this is going to be one of those games where it takes me forever to beat just because of like the time I have to play it,
hmm
but I'm excited to get through it.
From what I've seen, though, it's actually a shorter game than I thought it would be. I was writing a guide on it earlier, and most people are getting done with it in like 30 to 35 hours, which is still pretty long. But like for a game like Final Fantasy, which I haven't played much of, I've played like 4 hours of Final Fantasy VII, the original one at most, and like 2 hours of Final Fantasy 15. I just expected this to be like in the like 60 to 70 range just with that name Final Fantasy. I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a huge game." But it's
I
not
guess I
really.
guess it also depends on how much like side stuff you do too, right? Because there's probably
Yeah,
a
that
shit
is
ton
true.
of side quests that people who were mainlining it to get the review out probably didn't get a chance to do.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, yeah, we're both going to be playing this game. It sounds like,
hmm
but like I said, for me, it's going to take me a while, just because like time to play it, and I'm going on vacation in the middle of July, so it's a whole thing. Um, moving on, Nintendo Direct happened yesterday, John, and there was some exciting stuff, but also some stuff that's like they're coming out with, and it's like, okay, this is the end of the life of the Nintendo Switch. At least in terms of like how I felt about some stuff, like just like a lot of remasters, like 3DS ports, remakes, stuff like that.
That and also what was missing really kind of
Yes.
nails home how this
Well,
we are at the end of the line here.
and on top of that, the fact that was it Ubisoft or Activision who makes Mario and Rabbids? Activision? Activision.
Ubisoft. Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. They came out and said that Nintendo got mad at them for releasing the sequel to Mario plus Rabbids because they wanted to hold it for the
Honestly.
next
Yeah.
console. So
Yeah.
like that alone is pretty telling, right? That game came out like a year ago at this point, something like that.
It's close
Last
to
fall
it.
maybe. Um
Yeah.
so it's like if they were wanting to hold that game for the next Switch, then we know that there has to be significant progress made by
Yeah.
now at least for the next console.
There was no talk about the next console at this direct. I didn't expect it to be here. I'm expecting that kind of talk to come in the fall. That's what they did with the Switch. I think it was just like a random day in November. They had this big presentation and they were like, "Here's the Switch,"
Yeah,
and I was
I
like,
don't think
"I like
it,
that."
it the thing is, we're gonna hear like rumblings about it, right? Because
Mhm.
I think when the Switch was announced, they said like, "Hey, we're doing a Nintendo Direct live in New York, and we're inviting like like people from IGN, GameSpot, like they invited press, I believe, to go watch it." No, actually,
Mhm.
no, they revealed the Switch on its own in a video, like direct, and then at a later date they invited press to come, and that's when they actually got hands on with it to check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they're gonna announce like, hey, come watch this Nintendo Direct showcasing a new console. I think that it's just gonna be like the night before, hey, tomorrow morning we're doing a Nintendo Direct. And that's all you're gonna
Or
hear, and then they're gonna announce it.
or you'll just be scrolling on Twitter and be like, "Oh, hey, here's this 3-minute trailer. What's this for?"
Yeah. I mean,
But
whatever before we get into this, whatever a future Switch iteration is, it has to be backwards compatible, right? Like there's no way they come out with it and it doesn't play regular
it
Switch
is
games.
the fact that I've seen rumors that it's not backwards compatible is like one of the worst decisions that could possibly be made.
Right?
Like that
Because
is
like
an awful decision.
that would be catastrophic in my mind. Because like everybody has all these Switch games, but it is a very Nintendo thing just to do whatever the fuck they want and
Yep.
then re-release Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Again.
Deluxe
Yeah.
Plus.
Yep. But let's get into what we did see at the show here. The one more thing here was a new 2D Super Mario game called Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I am pretty excited about this game. So going into this, I put up a predictions article on Game Sandwich that was like going over like 10 predictions of what we saw, and I mentioned a new Super Mario Brothers game, but I was like, it could be a 2D game, but I'm really hoping for 3D. I love 3D platformers. That's my favorite kind of game. Mario Odyssey, Mario 64, those are two of my favorite games of all time. And the new Super Mario Brothers games that had come out over the last decade plus were I was so tired of them. A lot of people were tired of them. It's like these aren't interesting anymore. I was sold off on 2D Mario for any time soon. Wonder though surprised me. Like they brought it out here and it's got all this like weird trippy stuff going on. Like you grab a flower and like random things happen in the environment around you. Like a pipe like comes to life and starts like crawling along the ground like a worm or something. It's like that kind of stuff I wasn't really expecting to see. The art style is also slightly different, which is it looks really good to me. I think Mario himself looks amazing, and like the animations of him like running through the pipe and his hat pops off and he like reaches out to grab it, and then when he comes out the other side, he like looks around before he comes out. Like that kind of stuff is so cool. It's that little bit of like personality that Nintendo, when they put that into their games, you're like, oh, this is something special. That stuff was missing from the new Super Mario Brothers games. So I'm very excited for this game. I don't know how you're feeling about it, but
I mean, I've never been a really big Mario guy, so like
mm,
this is something I'm sure Elise is probably gonna pick up and play the shit out of because she loves Mario games.
mm,
And so in that I'll probably give it a shot and try it out. I found it interesting that you don't only collect coins in this one. Like
there's coins and other
well,
stuff.
yeah, there's other stuff which is interesting. I feel like for a 2D Mario game at least.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean the art style looks cool. So
yeah. That's coming out this year. They'll probably go into it during a September direct. So I'm looking forward to that. Next up, a lot of Super Nintendo fans were happy to see that the Super Mario RPG remake is real. It looks like it's all classic gameplay. It's just all the aesthetic stuff, the graphics and everything have been revamped to make it more current. It looks good. I've never played this myself, so I'm excited to play it. I've only heard great things about it.
yeah,
Um,
I've never played Super Mario RPG, but I know people are crazy about it.
yeah.
And I like RPGs, so I think this is one I'll probably try.
Yeah. I really like the Paper Mario games. I was hoping for Thousand Year Door to get a remaster, but hey, a remake of this classic game, I'm okay with that. I know people have been like asking for this forever, like at least 20 years. A new Princess Peach game is coming next year. They didn't give it a name, but she was like running along a stage. It was like the Super Mario Brothers 3 thing where the whole game plays out on a stage. So that looks pretty cool. We'll learn more about that later. It comes out next year. Also coming out next year is a Switch port for Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Uh, I haven't played this one either. I've heard it's kind of meh, but we'll give it a try and see how it is. That's a 3DS original game. Mario Kart 8 Wave 5 DLC has a new track and 3 racers coming. Oh crap, I didn't write down who it was. Wiggler was one of them, Kamek was another, and the last one, let's see if I can pick it off the top of my brain here. I got nothing, I can't remember. But 3 characters plus a new track, at least, well, one brand new track plus all the, there's
There
going to
was
be
the one
7.
plant guy. The one plant guy. It's like Piranha Plant, but on fire.
PD Piranha, that's
There
it.
you go.
Thank you. Okay. But yeah, they showed off the one brand new track, like hasn't been in anything. There will be 7 more like remakes and remasters on the way. WarioWare Move It is set to come out in November this year. That surprised me. I feel like the last WarioWare game was not long ago. When was that? That was
It was like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
right. Like this is a short time to get a new WarioWare game, which I guess it makes
Which,
sense. They're small games, but
yeah, it looks really cool though. The new WarioWare
yeah,
game.
yeah. Uh,
I like the moving aspect of it, like the movement.
yeah, you have to use 2 Joy Cons and you're like shaking and stuff. That does look fun. So I'm excited to play that. The last
Also,
one,
I found it interesting that they announced 1-2 Switch sequel like a few weeks ago, and then they announced this, which clearly this looks like a way better version of whatever 1-2 Switch is trying to be.
everybody one two
Yeah,
switch, I think it was called. Yeah. No, that game, they're throwing it out there just to get rid of it. They don't care about that game. It wasn't shown off at here at all.
which
So
is
yeah,
weird. Weird.
that is them saying they don't have trust in that game. It is gonna bomb. Don't put your money on it.
The
Like
last WarioWare game is called WarioWare Get It Together, and it came out September 10th of 2021.
okay. So yeah,
So
two
it's like
years.
a
That's
two
still
year dev cycle. That's cool.
yeah, yeah. Pikmin 1 and 2 are on the Switch now. I've never played them, but I think at whenever I have money again, because I'm a broke boy, I will buy those and finally give them a try before Pikmin 4 comes out. And we got to look at Pikmin 4 gameplay. There's going to be co-op gameplay, and they showed off a bunch of stuff. If you're a Pikmin fan, you were probably excited, or maybe you weren't. I don't know. Detective Pikachu Returns was finally shown off. We heard about this like 2 years ago, I want to say. Like there was a Pokemon Presents where they were like, "Hey, we're working on a sequel to Detective Pikachu," and then they just said nothing about it for the longest time. Well, now that's coming out this year. Um,
One thing I hate, John,
mhm.
I can't stand is it, and it typically only happens with Nintendo since they have, different consoles. Like in terms of like handheld versus an actual console. I hate when a sequel to a game is on like a different platform than the original. If that makes sense. Like the original Detective Pikachu was only on 3DS, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That just annoys the shit out of me, and I don't know why.
But were you expecting them to make the sequel on 3DS in 2023?
No, no. But I would expect them to release the 3DS version of the game on Switch,
Oh, I see what
like
you're
so
saying.
I could play it.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, I think that was kind of the thing when that came out because I want to say it was a Japan exclusive for a long time, and by the time that it came to America, the Switch was already out, and they just never put it on the Switch. So I see what you're saying. All right. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLCs were kind of shown off. They really
It
didn't
was
do anything for me. I was like,
it was
wow,
basically just like, hey, here's more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
yeah, I was not excited about that. That kind of killed any hope I had for that DLC. Penny's Big Breakaway. Now, this is the one non Nintendo made game on here that I wanted to talk about because this is made by Christian Whitehead's new team. Christian Whitehead is the guy that was the head of development for Sonic Mania, and he made a lot of like Sonic the Hedgehog mods in the past. It's a 3D platformer, which, like I said a little bit ago, my favorite kind of game. And he's very good at making like good feeling platformer games. So keep your eye out for that. That's definitely one that grabbed my eyes right away. We were talking about what was missing, like telling us that, hey, the Switch is kind of looking at like it's at the end of its road. First off, no Metroid Prime 4 still. I thought for sure we were seeing Prime 4 after Prime Remastered came out earlier this year. Like, I was shocked that there was no Prime 4. This tells me that this is going to be a close to launch of the next game or next console. Also, the next 3D Super Mario game, nothing there. Whether it's Odyssey 2 or just something completely new, this felt like a very good time for them to show it off. Nothing there. That tells me also that's a
Yeah.
launch for the next console. No Tears of the Kingdom DLC. That game's only been out for a month, so I get it. We'll probably get that announcement in a September direct. Still was a little disappointed. They did show off two new amiibo though that I am probably hopefully gonna buy. No Wind Waker and Twilight Princess Switch ports. I still am holding out hope that they'll come at some point. I really want to play those games again, even though I have a GameCube and the games with them like right over there. No Mario Baseball. There was a rumor earlier this year that Nintendo was working on a Mario Baseball game. Probably not if it's not shown off here. And then no new Donkey Kong game. There was rumors about that last year and a lot of people hoping for a Donkey Kong game, but there was absolutely nothing for that. So don't expect any Donkey Kong for a bit. That's all I got for the Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo Direct, man.
It
They
was a good show.
it,
It,
I will agree, it was a good Nintendo Direct compared
yeah.
to some other ones where it's like, here's two games you might care about, and the rest of the time we're gonna talk about some weird RPG that only, nerds care about. But yeah, it was all right. I'm
Um,
excited. I'm excited to see what the next year brings for the Switch, right? Because like within the next year, we're gonna hear, I think, an announcement for a new Switch, and if it is not backwards compatible, John, the internet is going to flip the fuck out.
before they go and buy it anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah, I really hope that it's backwards compatible. Um, I was also very surprised with how much Nintendo is coming out with for the rest of this year. I was going into this thinking that Tears of the Kingdom was their one big game, and then Pikmin 4 was the other game, and maybe they would have like a little spin off or something along the way for the rest of 2023. But we've got Detective Pikachu, the Pokemon DLC, of course, more Mario Kart. WarioWare was a big surprise to me. Like, I was pretty happy with the output that they gave us. Like, it's not looking as dead of a year for the rest of the year as it was originally going in.
Yeah. Moving on, John. E3 could officially be dead. The LA Tourism Board put out a graphic today, and it said at the bottom that the numbers were, because it was like projected numbers for like conferences in the coming years. And at the bottom corner, it said that this was including E3 2024 and 2025 being canceled. But the ESA has said there's no decision that has been made yet. What I think is that I think the ESA has not made a decision yet. I think they're being honest about that. I
Mhm.
think that that graphic was probably just like, hey, we're assuming that this is going to get canceled the next 2 years. This is what our numbers will look like if they're canceled. Because E3 is probably a huge convention for LA, and so
Mhm.
like they don't want to like show inflated numbers, right? If it's strongly likely that it's going to get canceled.
Yeah, I'm right there with you that this was a projection thing, that they're kind of being safe and saying, hey, these numbers are going to be lower than we would normally expect if E3 were here. Because 2023, 2022, it was canceled, and 2020 obviously was canceled. And then 2021 was just a digital show. So that's 4 straight years that we haven't had a physical E3. And the LA, these LA people have to take that into consideration for all their business stuff that they're talking about here. They, with it being canceled this year, there's no way that they can go into next year being like, oh yeah, no, we expect the numbers to be there for us. So I'm right there with you. I think this was them being safe and lowering it. That being said, I also don't think it's coming back anyway. I really don't. It just I won't say that this year like really proved that we don't need E3, but maybe the last decade has proved that we don't need E3. I mean,
Over time.
yeah, it just sucks. It sucks not having that excitement there for the one big event like you and I both had like growing up with this event. But we're also at a point now that there's so much to talk about. There's so much money in the industry being passed around and everything that it isn't needed. And it's good.
My thing is like what I loved about E3 is that we got all of the gaming announcements for the year within like a 1 week span, right? Within a 4 day
Mhm.
span, let's say, of when the conferences were. And that's what I fucking loved. Cause like every year that week felt like Christmas. You know what I
Oh yeah.
mean? Whereas like now it's like, yeah, we know Xbox announced their thing like 2 months in advance, right? But it's like there could be a year when Xbox just doesn't show anything in June, right?
Mhm.
Like because if there's no E3, right, there's nothing that's like tying them to that time of the year to show anything. So there very well could be a year in the future where like Xbox, Ubisoft, Activision, whoever, EA, like EA didn't even show anything this year, right? Like they haven't even
Well,
had anything. So that like that's what I'm saying. Whereas if there was an E3, I guarantee you EA would have been there. I mean, I'm not saying like E3. I mean, like you know what I mean. If there was an
yeah.
E3 like E3 was 5 years ago, EA would have been there showing the fucking stupid Sims expansion coming out. Why you should buy
The
the
Mortals of
FIFA.
Indian.
Yeah, like they would have shown all this stuff.
They have stuff to show, yeah.
But
Um,
the fact that there's nothing is like kind of sucks because now like I said, all this shit can just scatter throughout the year. Which I guess is like it's got pros and cons, but
yeah.
I personally like just getting like all the news all in 1 week. I thought it was awesome. Felt like Christmas.
Yeah, I get that. What would you say is the percentage chance that E3 comes back next year, has an event, and it's like deemed a success?
Deemed a success, five
Yes,
percent.
I'm right there with you. I was gonna say five as well. Like I am,
In
yeah,
terms of it coming back at all next year, I was gonna say 20%, but then you added deemed a success. That
hmm
like greatly reduces it.
yeah. It's because it's not just it coming back. Because you have to figure going in the next year that it's going to be the same situation that would have been this year with no Nintendo, no Xbox, no PlayStation. What's that leave you? Well, Ubisoft was also pulling out. EA hasn't been a part of E3 for years, even before all the COVID stuff. Like, who was going to be there? So, who knows? I'm very low on that actually happening. All right, moving on. We'll get our last topic in here a little quicker because this is something that I'm sure both of us don't really want to talk about. But the Xbox and FTC court hearings have finally started. This is to do with the Activision Blizzard acquisition. And pretty much all the notes today were the FTC kind of just drilling Pete Hines and Sarah Bond about exclusivity deals and cloud gaming. Uh, just some of the notes that I took that I found out from here. Apparently, Pete Hines, one of the higher ups for Bethesda and ZeniMax, he was not happy that Starfield lost access to PlayStation while Call of Duty can still stay there. There was an email going out where he said something along the lines of, "Hey, isn't this like directly against what we were just told by Xbox?" And the ZeniMax box was like, "I don't know, talk to Phil Spencer." And then they had a phone conversation, and who knows what was said. But yeah, Pete Hines seemed very unhappy with the exclusivity situation. He did say though that development on Starfield has been easier once that exclusivity change was made. He said that it wouldn't be coming out anytime soon if it was still coming to PlayStation. Like we would be waiting a long time. The Indiana Jones game that's being made by Machine Games has been confirmed to be an Xbox and PC exclusive. That was one of the talking points because they were saying, "Hey, Starfield was originally supposed to come out on PlayStation. Why is it an Xbox exclusive now?" Uh, when they announced the Indiana Jones game, the deal with Disney was that it would come out to everything. Since then, Microsoft and Disney have worked out a thing, so now it's only coming to Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. Uh, Sarah Bond says that cloud gaming is more popular on console than it is on other devices. People like to use it when they're installing a game. They just play it while it's installing. Not many people use their phone and stuff, which honestly doesn't surprise me. Um, she also said that Xbox has lost the console war, and Activision demanded a better revenue split to even be on Xbox. Apparently, they were threatening to make it a PlayStation exclusive if they did not meet their demands. So I don't know how much of all that is like Sarah Bond like being with Xbox, being like, "Oh, poor us, we're so sad," and how much of that's actually truthful. But yeah, court stuff. Pretty much long road ahead before a decision is made on this. This was only day one as of us recording this, streaming this. We're gonna hear a lot of this, and like you and I think I remember us talking about like we don't even care anymore whether this acquisition goes through or not. We're just
Yeah.
ready for it to be over. Oh man, there's a lot
Here's
of
the thing,
cool
though.
stuff ahead of us.
I think either way this goes, it sets like bad precedent for stuff, right? If
Mhm.
Xbox is successfully able to buy the company, then PlayStation's gonna go like, okay, I'm gonna try and buy fucking Ubisoft or something ridiculous, um, like another big company.
You can
And
also
if
expect future Bungie games to be exclusive. I bet anything.
well, not necessarily, because I think Bungie signed the contract stating that they can come out on everything if they want to.
Yeah, but who knows how much say they actually have in that? I have no idea.
I mean, Bungie's pretty like trustworthy with that, right? Because like that's the whole reason why they broke off from Activision.
That's what I'm
Because
saying
like,
though. It might not be their call. Sony owns them. So,
but no, but that was like a big thing when they got bought by Sony, that they all agreed that they can come out with their games on whatever they want to come out with it on.
yeah. I don't
And
know.
I like
I'm just saying
I trust Bungie in that sense, because like that's the reason why they wanted to leave Activision, because Activision was pushing them towards like, hey, start working on Destiny 3. And they're like, no, we want to fucking just keep pumping out content for Destiny 2.
I I totally get trusting Bungie. I'm just saying I don't trust Sony with that.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm sure there's like a clause in there that's like, if you try and make us go exclusive, we can just break off and be our own company. I don't know. But anyway, uh I completely forgot what I was gonna say. So never mind. Oh no, yes. So the bad precedent. And whereas if Xbox is not able to buy Activision, right? Anytime Sony is gonna try and buy a fucking company, big or small, Xbox is gonna fucking start pointing fingers and be like, hey, 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 monopoly, monopoly, right? Like, hey, you can't do that. Remember when you stopped us from doing that for Activision Blizzard? We're gonna stop you from doing that for fucking Joe Schmo's company. It just, I don't know. It's getting frustrating just seeing all these news articles every week. It's like, just
Yeah,
fucking give us an answer. Like, either
yeah.
way.
I honestly don't care anymore. I the kind of feel on the situation that I was getting from reading the articles on this is that Xbox was very much on the defensive today with the FTC like questioning them, but there was also like a lot of stuff that like they weren't really asking about PlayStation stuff, like all the exclusivity deals that they get. They were only focusing on Xbox's part of that. So there's going to be a lot more of this. We're going to hear from a lot more other people, and
I
just
think
gonna
I think the hearing is 5 days. So
yeah, but that's just for the FTC. We still have to deal with the Europe stuff and then
yeah,
other
but I
things.
mean, like, this current one
Yeah.
is just 5 days. All right,
Yep.
John, I'll take us through the quick news since you've been talking a lot. Todd Howard says that only 10% of planets in Starfield have life on them. That's not too surprising.
No.
Like that, if there's over 1,000 planets, like they said, that's over 100 planets, which
Yeah.
is quite a lot, honestly.
Also, there's probably people that are like, "Oh, this is this." I think Chad. I think I saw him tweet something along the lines of like, "Only 10% of this game is going to be interesting." I was like, "Yeah, but also space is pretty empty." I don't
Yeah,
know.
true. It's like like, think about our solar system, right? How many other planets have life that we
Out of
know
the
of?
out
None.
of the Out of the eight, arguably nine planets in our solar system, only one of them has known life on it. So
10%. 10%, John.
close enough to it. Yep.
Yeah, moving on, Quake 2 Remastered could be coming soon. I think it was rated somewhere,
Yes.
right? It got a rating somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I love Quake 4. I've never played Quake 2.
I
um,
played I played the Quake 1 remaster that they made years ago, who knows how long. Um, it doesn't surprise me. Although I guess it would surprise me why they wouldn't show it off at the Xbox showcase. But they did the same thing with GoldenEye, where we knew GoldenEye was coming, and then they just didn't talk about it until one day they did,
for
and they're
like
like,
2
"Hey,
years.
yeah,
Um, you're gonna have to elaborate on this one a little bit. A Diablo 4 item has some very encouraging text on it.
yep, I've got it pulled up here." So apparently, a Blizzard dev made like a really wholesome Diablo 4 item description, and like everyone on Reddit is like, "Oh, this is like really nice." Um, here's what it says. This is the Mark of the Conclave amulet. It says, "Healing is a journey, a series of steps. Some days you may stumble, but so long as you continue to put one foot in front of the other, you will reach your destination." And apparently the dev who wrote it, he put up a tweet. He's like, "I wrote this flavor text for this person. I wrote it for me and I wrote it for you. I wrote it hoping against hope that it might help someone remember that things will get better. I created this quest to be about overcoming grief and trauma and how you cannot force healing or always slay your demons, but by accepting who you are now, you can continue to heal and move forward." And then you like go in and like there's blood and everyone's dying, and the rest of Diablo 4. So it's a bit out of place, but obviously it's a good message.
Yeah. Moving on, Immortals of Avium has been delayed by a month. I don't care about this game at all. It
Me
doesn't look
either.
like anything I want to play.
There's a lot of people that are like excited for it, but I'm like, I don't see it. I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah. Halo Infinite is getting rid of its seasonal cutscenes, and by getting rid of, they have already gotten rid of it because
Yep.
the newest season launched without it, which is so disappointing because that was like they were so fucking good. Like why like are you are you already giving up on this game even though you keep saying you're going to keep putting out content for it? Like
Yeah. I
put out
honestly had no idea that there was a new season coming up. I just randomly saw that. Oh, hey, the new Halo season's here. It's like, oh, okay. I haven't
yeah,
looked into it at all. I don't know what's in there. Don't know if it's good.
I'll talk about it in a little bit maybe. Um, Assassin's Creed Mirage's map will be close to Revelations and Unity's size. I don't know how big those are.
A lot smaller than the maps we've been getting lately, um, which isn't a surprise. We knew that this game was going to be more of those classic games, gameplay and size. It wasn't going to be the gigantic RPG like Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. So much smaller. Um, yeah.
Makes sense. All right, John, collectibles time. I'm wearing one.
Ooh. Oh yeah,
Look at
your
that.
Starfield headset.
Starfield headset. It's very
I knew there
pretty.
was something different about your headset.
It's very
But
cool.
I was like,
The the
"Oh,
little
is he
tip
just trying
here, little tip here is see through.
to?"
Pretty
Is it?
cool. Yep. It makes here. I'll show you a close up. You can kind
Ah,
of see it. Oh, there you go.
yes.
See through tip on the microphone there. Um, it makes some Starfield ass noises when you turn it on and you're pairing it and stuff, which is
What
pretty
what are
cool.
what are Starfield ass noises?
Dude, I don't. I couldn't tell you. It's just like not the normal Xbox noises. It's just
But
like
that's what I'm saying. It's like we haven't played Starfield. How do you know it's a Starfield ass noise?
because it's a fucking Starfield branded headset. That's
It
how.
could just
And
be random. It could have nothing to do with Starfield.
I guarantee you it has something to do with Starfield, John. I also got the controller, but I'll show that next week because it's not in front of me right now.
Cool. I have nothing. I'm broke. I don't have money.
All right, what have we been playing, John? Diablo 4. I played a little more. I beat Act 3. That's about it.
I haven't played Diablo 4 in about a week. I just honestly forgot to play. Honestly, I Diablo is a game that I love playing with other people, and I've been playing solo mostly. And I'm just like, I'll get
I,
to
I've
it.
only I've only played with like one person one time. It was for like
Mhm,
half an hour. The rest I've just played solo.
yeah, and I don't mind playing Diablo solo. It's just I would rather play it with someone else, just like talking and like shitting around and all that. Uh, I don't mind playing it while just like listening to a podcast. It's perfect for that. It's just I also listen to podcasts like all day while I'm working, so it's just like,
It's
eh,
also a great remote play game.
is it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You have like a Razer Kishi or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, use that, remote play it on your phone while you're just fucking watching TV or something.
All right. Yeah, I'll probably do that.
Cuz
Um,
that's what I was doing on my Steam Deck the other day. Remote
I'll,
playing it on there.
I'll give that a try. I didn't even think of that.
It's very similar to like, Vampire Survivor. How like it's just another one of those games where it's pretty mindless.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely try that out cuz remote playing on it is the way to go. But yeah, I want to beat that game soon, but with Final Fantasy being out now, who the fuck knows, man?
Yeah. Uh, Other than that, I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom. Shocker. I finally got all of the shrines and I got all of the light roots done. Uh, I really wish that I would have noticed this beforehand, but all of the shrines on the surface and all of the light roots in the depths, they mirror each other. They're in the same exact spot. If I would have known that a long time ago, I probably would have found them all a lot faster because you could just
Wait,
like
wait. So the shrines mirror each other?
the shrines and the light roots, the things that you light up the depths with, they mirror each other. They're directly above and below each other.
Okay,
So it's like that's like a really good way to find the ones that you're missing. If you found one, you can just go right above it or right below it and
gotcha.
find the other one. Um, that's how I finished up my light roots because I got the last shrine by looking up an interactive map because I was like, I'm not finding these. I was
Yeah,
completely lost. So I finally did that, and then I was like, man, the light roots when you have like most of them, there can be like a couple that have like the smallest little area that they cover, and I was like, man, I'm not seeing any like dark areas on this map, and then I just like kept swapping between them. I was like, oh, okay, that's where I'm missing it. Um, yeah, so now I'm just kind of playing for fun. I'm still doing some side quests. I'm not obviously I'm not going for shrines and stuff anymore. So I'm just doing side quests and like hunting monsters on the side and exploring still. I'm having so much fun. I probably will take a bit of a break from it here in a bit. I right now I'm at like 145 hours played
that's
and
fucking crazy.
I checked yesterday. I'm at like 55% completion. Like,
What
oh
else
my
is
god.
there? Like Korok
Uh
seeds?
900 Koroks and a lot of side quests.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, I'm not doing the Koroks. I didn't do that in Breath of the Wild, but I did all the side quests in there, so I think
Dude,
that's what I'm gonna.
you're a fake gamer, fake fan,
You know
fake
what? I'll
fan.
take it. I'll take it. I don't care. I'm not looking around for 900 Koroks. Like it's just not happening. Um, but yeah, no, Tears of the Kingdom is great. I love it so much.
Cool. Um, the only other thing I played is I jumped into the new Halo season. Updated the game. I too like I didn't know that it was like I have heard about it obviously because I follow a lot of Halo Twitter accounts, but I didn't realize it came out until the day it came out, and I saw like a bunch of tweets about you know the new season. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. So the other day I hopped in, immediately got bummed because there was no cutscene like we were talking about, and those were like the best parts of the new seasons now, which is a huge buzzkill. Sorry, had to burp, but this season added infection, which is cool, and also like how the fuck did it take them this long to add infection and now we have a whole season pretty much revolved around infection. Like the whole battle pass is just like a bunch of infection related like armor and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it added infection. It added a new like ranking system, not in terms of like online like skill based ranked. It's more like remember in Halo Reach how you would level up just getting XP to like you'd go from private to lieutenant to corporal. It's that kind of thing where it's based on how much XP you're getting. I don't really get the purpose of that. Um, maybe I do because like you have the battle pass, right? So, but I don't think anybody really knows how far I am in the battle pass unless I'm wearing something that can only be unlocked at a certain level. I also don't know if people can see my my rank, like my overall career rank. I think that's what it probably is like a career rank so that people can say like, "Oh, John's a fucking noob," right? Like clearly he's only played, probably X amount hours of this game because he's such a low rank. Whereas like
Mhm.
somebody else could probably be super high rank, right? And you're like, "Oh shit, that guy's got a lot of time in this game." But as far as I can tell, there's no way to see that right now. At least not when I load into a game. Maybe if I click on somebody's profile, I'll have to check that out. I'm sure that it shows up in the profile if you click on somebody's name. If not, then it's like, what the fuck? What's the point of this? Other than
Mhm.
like self gratification. Um, but like I love that game so much. Like the gameplay is amazing. The gunplay is great. Everything's great. It's just like, why did it take fucking like 3 years to get infection in the game? Like why is that a thing? That's a core Halo game mode. Like
Yeah.
that should have been there if not day 1, day 2, right? Like that should have been there a long time ago. They added some new maps. I don't know what they're called. I probably played each one time. Um, and I mean they're fine. Like it's nothing like insane, like to write home about. But I mean they're both cool. At this point, I feel like the Halo fan base is so I don't know. I don't know, so nostalgic, I would say, for how good old Halo games were. Like, even the Master Chief Collection being, like, not even that old of a game. People are nostalgic for that. Like, I think what they need to do is just start releasing official, even if it's them, like, paying somebody who created the map in Forge, official remakes of maps. And, like, putting those in the main playlist. Because, like, I think if they had a big, not like seasonal update, but like a mid season update where it's like, hey, this is it's a 10 tier Halo 2 battle pass. We're releasing 5 Halo 2 Forge made maps and we're spreading them, throughout the playlist depending on where they fit. Big Team Battle, SWAT, Team Slayer, stuff like that. And they're going to be in the game forever and you can unlock, you know, armor pieces and coatings that are reminiscent of Halo 2 stuff. That would be fucking amazing, right? But they're not doing that. They're they release 100 tier battle pass on infection, and like what the fuck? Like part of what saved I think Master Chief Collection in recent memory is their battle passes were all revolved around like different eras of Halo. You know what I mean? And like why aren't they doing that with this? There's so many Halo games out there. They could be like, "Hey, here's a small 10 tier battle pass revolved around Halo 1. Here's a 10 tier battle pass revolved around Halo Wars, Halo Wars 2, right? Like it could just be these mini themed things that would probably get people back into the game. But instead, they're releasing Infection 3 years too late, and they're coming out with 2 new maps that I believe they made in Forge. When all anybody wants really is to play the old Halo maps, like that because like they're just so good. It's like that's where they should have started. Is
Mhm.
just releasing a bunch of those into the game.
I mean, I feel like we're just always talking about the same thing with Halo Infinite. It's like, why is this missing? Why did this take so long to get here? Why are they not doing this? And it As much as tired as I am about the Activision Blizzard acquisition stuff, I'm even more tired talking about Halo Infinite. It's just always the same story over and over again. It's like, oh, hey, they're doing something that they should have done literally 2 years ago. I don't care, man, anymore. I thought your gameplay was great, but man, your content is severely lacking.
Yeah, it is upsetting. All right, John, we're at about an hour, so we're gonna end on that sad, sad note about Halo Infinite being bad.
Hmm.
But anyway, thank you so much for watching or listening to the show. We truly appreciate having you here. As always, leave a comment below. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or topics you want us to talk about in the next episode. Also, review us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you're listening to us or watching us. Give us a review. We would appreciate it. You can follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street. Check out the pin tweet there for an invite link to join our Discord server. Come hang out. I'm going to post pictures of Shaq DJing in a few minutes here. Um, yeah, also subscribe to us on YouTube because we are at. Hold on, I have a number.
385?
385 subscribers.
Nailed it.
And so we'd love to have you over there. Come hang out. You can find me on Twitter at Campo63 or twitch.tv/Campo63. John, where are you at on the internet?
On Twitter, I am at Revex Shadows, and you can find my writing on GameSandwich.com.
Cool. We will be right back here next week with episode 235 of the Pixel Street Podcast.
Bye!